take for the day, and so many people are going to hate this one. I think that car loan debt is not bad debt. And I also would never, ever, ever pay cash for a car. You will never see me paying cash for a car. Why would I do that? Why on earth would I do that? I don't want to do that. I've never wanted to do that.
Look, car debt is bad. I don't care who tells it to you, how they dress it up. You got to get out of that stuff as fast as possible.
What I want to do is lease a car. That's my dream. My dream is to lease a car because I am tired of a car after 2 years. I want a new thing. I always want new stuff. I always want the newest thing because I'm crazy. Okay. But
now look, continuously getting into like a lease vehicle, if you can afford it, I understand. But I mean, you are just continuously having a car payment. But then, like she said, she always wants new things. After 2 years, she gets bored, Unless you're like Jeff Bezos or somebody, what they say, resources are limited, but, wants are infinite. You could always want something new. And so just because you want something new doesn't mean you have to destroy your financial future or your budget just because you want it, right? You get bored of what you have. I mean, the honeymoon phase for anything is eventually going to fade away. But that doesn't mean, hey, let's go buy another $40,000, $50,000 vehicle. No, sir.
truthfully just don't believe that a car loan is bad debt. And as long as it's within your means, because let me tell you, some people get car loans and their payment's like $1,000. What are you doing? My car loan is $484, which I would never go more than $500 for a car loan in my time right now. Down the line, yes, I would. I'd go up to, I wouldn't go past 600. I don't know. I can't see myself going past that amount. But
look, before she finished, she practically paying $500. $500 is a lot. Look at it as far as, you put that money and then you're investing it, throughout the whole year. $500 a month. That's going to come up to a good amount of money. You're going to look back after the year and be like, dang, I got some bread. But now paying it out because you're not really paying attention and because the interest and stuff is eating it up. It does. Well, I've been making these monthly car payments, and when I look at it, it doesn't seem like much has been paid off, and so it doesn't look like a lot. But if you flipped it another way and you were actually saving it or investing that money, that is a lot. $500 is a lot. I don't care what people say. I don't care what she say. That is a lot.
Don't believe that car loan is a bad debt because everybody needs a car. Okay, everybody needs a car. And to sit here and say that you need to pay for a car in cash, that's just not realistic for most people. Okay, most people don't. My car was like $32,000. I don't have $32,000 just laying around, and I'm not going to be able to get that like that.
Hey, look, they don't want to go to Facebook Marketplace and go get that Honda Civic, that Honda Accord. They don't want to go get the hoopty for a couple thousand, because it's not cool. At 30,000, come on, you can come up with 2,000. I remember when people would go 1,500, 2,000, 2,500. That'll get you a good little Honda. In the 90s Honda, practically bulletproof. Might need some little TLC, they're not going to be perfect. Now, for $2,500, you can get a really nice Honda with that. They start looking rough once you go down to the 1,500. I bought a Honda at 1,500. It was a little rough, but it was $1,500. I bought one for $1,000. And you telling me that, 32,000 or 1,500? 1,000, I'm taking it. 2,000, 3,000. I'm pretty sure you can find these vehicles.
And sometimes you just need a new car. But I don't know. I just don't believe that car loan is bad debt. Call me irresponsible, but that's my opinion. Here's my hot take for the day.
Yeah, sometimes you need a new car. Most of the time, people just want new cars. That's all that is.
The older I get, the more I realize that everyone is just like in massive debt and they don't seem to care about it. Over Christmas break, my car actually broke down and I was told I need a brand new engine for like $18,000. I was like, obviously.
18,000. An engine for 18,000. I might be wrong. I think I don't even think a first gen 5.0 engine is 18. I don't know what she driving. I mean, that has to be one nice car for the engine replacement to be unless they're talking about the entire thing. But if they're just talking about the engine itself, 18, sheesh, yeah, throw that thing away.
Not. I'm gonna sell the car, get a new one. So I've been heavily on like car TikTok and like looking at different cars and people sharing their brand new cars that they got, Toyotas, Hondas, etc. And in the comments, people will be like, oh, like how much is your monthly payment? And people are casually being like, oh, I have like $1,000 monthly payment for a Toyota. Don't get me wrong, Toyotas nowadays, super expensive. But like I grew up with a dad who was like, if you have more than a $300 to $500 car payment a month, like you can't afford that car. Like if you can't afford to put enough down to where you can have a lower car payment, like you can't afford the car. And it's not people that are then like buying used cars. It's like they're buying a brand new 2026 Grand Toyota Highlander and they're having like $1,000, even an $800 car payment is insane. Or like a $1,200 car payment. And people are like in the comment sections on all of these car videos like, oh, that's not that bad. Oh, that's not that bad. Like, are we okay? I'm trying to save up for...
People, it's gotten to the point to where people are very used to financing really nice cars just because they want it. And $1,000, people will do it. But it's more of the... Society's moved more to the, you have to have the flashy stuff. You have to have the really nice vehicle. And everybody's just gotten comfortable with financing all of this debt. It used to be where you didn't finance that much and you would be buried forever if you did. But since everybody's doing it, then, well, it's not that much. If everybody else is doing it, then I may as well do it. But the same adage is, if everybody jumps off a bridge, are you going to jump off with them? Everybody is jumping off the bridge. I'm not going. $1,000, if it's $1,000 just for the car payment, then you have to add in insurance. I'm just guessing, maybe 300, something like that. 300, maybe 4. I'm not sure. My car payment wasn't $1,000, so I don't know what that looks like. But then, so you were looking roughly, 14 in total, then maintenance and all that stuff. That's a lot. It's too much, in my opinion. I started to get nervous when I started hearing that, $1,000 car payments. I can't do it.
My new car, and I am purposely not having a car for the next like 6 to 12 months while I save a bigger deposit, because I don't want to have a huge like monthly payment on a car. And I feel like that's more normal, / I should just go and get like a little beater while I wait. But like, guys, it's not normal to have $1,000 monthly car payments. Like that is not a normal thing. Like you cannot afford a car if you're paying $1,000 a month for it. Especially if it's a like 2026 like brand new freaking car. Like you don't need that then. I just think it's like insane, and I'm realizing that like everyone is like so casually in debt, and like the thought of even having a car payment freaks me out, because my previous car didn't have a car payment because it was kind of old, and like now having a car payment, I'm so incredibly conscious of like I don't want a high car payment after not having one. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but like it's genuinely sickening seeing people say that they just casually have $1,000 a month of a car payment for a brand new Toyota. Like, what do you do?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with her. I can't have no $1,000 car payment. That's just too much. I have a 2010 Ford Mustang, love it to death. Every time I see a newer, Corvette, I see a C8, C7, C6, I really like the C5s, right? I see one of those on the road, lowered, nice rims on it, real nice exhaust. maybe got a little chop. I get to thinking, I can find one for about 20, maybe 25, depending on the mileage, whether it's a Z06. Now, if I can get a C5 Z06, maybe 30 or, 25. If I go for like I can get one of those. I might can swing it, do the math calculations on the car payment, and I can't do it. I can't do it. As long as my engine turn over, I'm all right. 'Cause my car's been paid off for about 2 years now, and I do not miss having to make that car payment every month. Yeah.
Hey man, if you listen to me, man, you gotta go in debt, man. Stop scrolling, man. Hey, look, debt has 4 letters. Love has 4 letters, man. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coinky dink, man. Go ahead, go in debt. Owe some people some money, man. Give them back. Go about 95K in debt, man. You're gonna be a 95K debt man. I mean, I don't know. You gonna eventually pay it off, man. Just go in debt, man. Hey man, if you listen.
Hey, look, yeah, he's right. Look, that 4-letter word, so is love, and people love debt. They love it to death. What's 100,000 in debt? I mean, who cares, right? You got your BMW. You got the comp. You got your Hellcat. Back when Hellcats were 88,000, 100,000. Hey, listen, if it's that close, 88,000, you put some tax on top of it. Hey, look, that's 100,000 to me. You can argue with somebody else. That's 100,000. I remember, what was it? I was explaining this point to a lady before, and she didn't believe me that, that people just love getting cars that they really can't afford, just going into debt. And I pulled it up. It was a brand new Hellcat, and it had selling for $88,000. It had 3 owners, and it only had 6,000 miles on it. Now, did each driver, spend, they each put in 2,000 miles each? Like, I had it for maybe, a couple months. I had my fun. Let me go ahead and let it get repoed, or let me trade it in, because I really didn't like this Hellcat. And that was her thing. Well, maybe they didn't like it after they bought it. Listen, when you start looking at these like really high-end, sports cars, people know what they're buying. They either buy them and then trade them in because the newer one came out, and so they just have the extra money, and so they just trade it in for the newer version, or they buy it and it's their Sunday car. They're car enthusiasts. They really like cars, and so they just drive it around town. Maybe sometimes they, play around a bit, take it to the drag strip, a couple car shows, stuff like that. But they normally keep the car for a long time. They're not trading it in within a couple months. Like, yeah, I bought it. Now 2 months later, 2-3 months. Yeah, I'm not feeling it anymore. That doesn't happen. But those people who are buying that car, they love debt. And they kept, hey, listen, at least they probably, on social media, at least I had a Hellcat, I got the red key. Yeah, that red key. The bank account is red, you negative, hurt.
Come crush out with.
I have $60,000 worth of car debt, with about 30,000 of that being in negative equity. And let me tell you how the dealership scammed me, because
hey, look, 60,000 in debt, car debt, 30,000 negative equity, cooked. I don't know how they pulled that's like the master scheme, that's the great heist of getting scammed for a dealership. They got you for 30 negative equity. And to the first lady, having, saving up for a cash car. I'd rather save, if it's going to take me a whole year to save up $2,000 to $3,000. I'd rather do that than to do this.
I bought my car by myself back in 2022 and I got scammed, and I don't want y'all to get scammed. So let's talk about it. I went in spring of 2022 to buy my Jeep. I wanted the Jeep Wrangler, which is the hybrid car, part gas, part electric. And
them things be trash anyway. I don't think they do too high maintenance and all the other stuff. Jeep, oh man, don't tell me you got burned on a Jeep.
Anyways, during that time, they didn't have a lot of stock because of COVID. And
COVID ate a
so
lot of
basically they
people
were
up.
going to order my Jeep, and it would come within 3 months. Well, the dealership guy told me that they could put me in a Jeep off the lot for 3 months with no loan payment, and then they would roll the loan over to the new Jeep when it came in. I was like, oh, that.
Nah, listen. Nobody trusts car salesmen. Hey, listen, I'm not doing all that rigmarole. Oh, it's going to take a couple months to get the car, but we can put you in this. And hey, look, I don't trust it. Hey, look, just get the car here. I'm not buying the car if it's not here. If you can't get the car here before I buy something else, then hey, look, that's on you. Come on.
Sounds great. So I signed it. I didn't have any payments. My Jeep came in the mail. My Jeep came. I went and I picked it up. And y'all, when he sat me down, he handed me a piece of paper that said that the car was like $100,000. And when I tell you, I about had a fit, because when I had originally went in, the finance guy told me that my monthly payment was going to be like $600. And then when I told the car salesman that when I was picking up the Jeep, he said that the finance guy lied, and that's why he doesn't work there anymore. And now I'm stuck with a $1,000 car payment. And
So what do we hold on. Did you what? How? When did you I got so many questions. When did you sign the papers? I know you didn't sign before you actually had the vehicle. It's going to take us 3 months to get the vehicle to the dealership. Call me when you get the car at the dealership. You were better off buying a car from Carvana. Come on. Yeah. I know that guy said your payments are going to be $600. They lied. That's not going to work for me. What? She got to clarify.
And the reason why I have negative equity is because somehow, and I still don't know how he did it. I worked with a lemon law attorney and I still don't know how he did it. But basically, when he rolled the first loan into the second one, he somehow kept it higher. I don't understand how negative equity works. I honestly don't. So if you ask me questions about that, I probably can't help.
Lord have mercy. Now, I don't even know. I don't even understand what she's talking about. Her situation is very convoluted, but negative equity is, for example, you have a car, right? Kind of like that girl we watched before. After 2 years, I'm bored with my vehicle. So you bought it at $30,000, right? And 2 years, let's say you paid off $5,000. So you rent $25,000. You owe $25,000. The car is only worth, let's say, $15,000. So when you go to the dealership and they say, hey, listen, I want to trade this car in for a new car because I'm bored of this one. And they tell you, well, we'll give you 15 for it. And remember, you owe 25. So, well, what we can do is that 10,000, that's the negative equity because the car is worth less than how much you actually owe on it. So then what they do is they take that negative equity and say, listen, instead of having you pay 2 different loans, they'll just take that extra 10 and they'll put it on top of your new car loan debt. So if you bought a car that was 30 and you had 10 of negative equity, they're going to put the 10 on top of the 30. Now you owe 40. That is negative equity. Do not, if you have negative equity on a vehicle, do not trade that thing in. In my opinion, you ride it until the wheels fall off and then you put the wheels back on and then you weld them. The motor's gonna have to blow next. Drive the vehicle until the wheels fall off, you weld them back on, then you drive until the motor blows up.
But basically, if I were to sell my Jeep today, I'd be lucky if I got like 35,000 on it, and I still owe 59,000.
Hold on, what did she say?
5,000 on it, and I still owe. It's about that I probably can't help. But basically, if I were to sell my Jeep today, I'd be lucky if I got like 35,000 on it, and I still owe 59,000.
She'll be lucky if she gets 35. She owes pretty much 60. I like to round up. Talking about 25,000 negative. Lord have mercy. Man, she got cooked. Jesus. Man, sometimes if life had a respawn button, like Call of Duty, you need to just run out there, get popped. So you know what? I'm gonna respawn. This time, I'm not just gonna run out in the open. I'm gonna be more strategic. Right here, if she could respawn and be like, I'm gonna be a little more strategic, she would.
Yeah, so if you see this video, feel free to repost it, like it, comment, share, tell me I'm an idiot. I know I'm an idiot. I literally talked to like 3 different people and they're like, everyone makes stupid decisions when they're younger, and most of the people that I've talked to, they've made stupid decisions when it's come to cars as well. And you know what? I have to live with it. But don't make the same mistake as me just because you want a nice car, because guess what? If I could go back, I would get a used Toyota or Honda and just stick with that.
I told you she would take the respawn button. Absolutely. I don't blame her because I would too. I wouldn't say, it was definitely a dumb decision. Sometimes people aren't, they don't have people in their life to kind of guide them through decisions like this. And so I don't want to say that, she's stupid. It was a dumb decision, but I wouldn't just say that she's an idiot. Everybody makes mistakes, and you don't know what you don't know. And sometimes you learn the hard way. You don't have any guidance, nobody to go with the dealership with you. They say, hey, listen, we're not doing this right here. It's a bad deal. You're getting cooked right now. Yeah, man, that's rough. That's all I got, though. I see you.
No need to ask, he's a super.
Star baby entertainment, walk up in this bitch like, yeah, let's go, spend a bag on the baby. Yeah, I like her habits and shit. Bad as hell, but she humble as ever. Yeah, but she not your average little chick. She stay in the gym,